The Super Bowl halftime show is the world's largest live show in the world, with more than 60,000 people in the crowd, and with 123 million people watching live, there is truly no show that can compare. Every year, the NFL picks the biggest names in the music industry to come out and put on a spectacular show that wows the masses watching. While the masses watch in amazement, most people don't realize that the purpose for the halftime show isn't to entertain. Their Super Bowl performance is not a performance at all, but a yearly ritual put on for the masses. While the world believes they're just watching their favorite artist dance and sing, they truly have no idea what they're being exposed to. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome to The Truth Is, where I post videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. Let's get right into it. While hundreds of millions gather around to watch the Super Bowl and praise the Super Bowl halftime show, the real purpose of the performance goes unseen. The yearly performance might just seem like an extravagant show made to entertain and wow you, but the truth is far more sinister. As crazy as it might sound to those that haven't opened their eyes yet, the Super Bowl is not a performance at all, but instead a giant expensive yearly ritual that's watched by hundreds of millions of people. To understand what I mean, first we need to look at the history of the sport of American football. Like I've said before, Walter Camp was given the title of the father of football. He is credited as the man who created most of the rules to the game many know and love today. Walter turned the sport from rugby into football, also creating the scrimmage line, the 11-man team, signal calling, and the quarterback position. This is why Walter is credited as the father of football by the NFL. While most people already know Walter was the father of football, what they don't know is that he was a part of a secret society called the Skull and Bones. I have made a full video on the Skull and Bones, but for those who haven't seen it yet, the Skull and Bones is a secret society that operates in the prestigious Ivy League school Yale University. Every year, the Skull and Bones picks a set of students to become members. The organization is known to have plenty of world leaders and billionaires a part of their club. The Skull and Bones were formed in 1832 by William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft. Both William and Alphonso were members of the Freemasons and created the Skull and Bones using Masonic rituals. Walter was picked to join the Skull and Bones while he attended Yale University. It is no coincidence at all that the father of football was a part of a Masonic organization. If you don't believe me, pause the video right now and simply Google Walter Camp Skull and Bones, and you'll see for yourself. Whether you want to believe it or not, the truth is the truth. Since its inception, football and the NFL have been rooted in masonry and the occult. We see proof of this every year in the Super Bowl halftime show. This year, the masses were once again treated to the yearly Masonic ritual at their Super Bowl, and the world loved it. The performance was of Usher, Alicia Keys, and several other guests performing many of their beloved classic songs. While Usher's performance didn't seem out of the ordinary, I can assure you they used plenty of subtle occult imagery from beginning to end. The main artist on the stage was Usher, and he was who led the ritual for the night. Ironically, this is exactly what an usher does. Usher came dressed in all white, wearing an interesting pin on his jacket. For those who don't know, white is often worn during ritual practice as it represents purity and or a sacrifice. More importantly, Usher can be seen wearing a phoenix pin on his jacket, which is an occult symbol usually associated with the New World Order and immortality. The phoenix symbolizes rising from the ashes and being reborn. If you look up what the phoenix represents in the occult, it states that the phoenix symbolizes transformation, rebirth, and hope. The immortal phoenix never truly dies. It continuously rises from the ashes just as the fiery sun dies and is reborn every morning. Because the phoenix willfully sacrifices itself, it's able to regenerate and gain awareness and spiritual growth. We have to remember the occult is all about symbols having hidden meanings. It allows occultists to communicate through symbols and imagery. Right off the top, Usher is letting us know a spiritual rebirth is unfolding and the New World Order is rising from the ashes. Looking at what the symbolism is telling us right at the beginning, Usher is in all white, which points to him either leading a ritual or being a sacrifice. And he also has the phoenix pinned on him, which points to a rebirth. We have all heard of the term the New World Order. It is known that the elite have been working towards establishing a New World Order. In order to start a new world, they must destroy the old one. The New World Order would rise from the ashes of the previous order just like the phoenix does. This performance through the symbolism is pointing to the end of an old order and the beginning of a new one. The next part of the performance that was very important was when Usher presented the Scarlet Woman, who was represented by Alicia Keys dressed in all red. The Scarlet Woman is not only mentioned in the Bible as a symbol of the apocalypse, but she was also a deity worshipped by the occultist Aleister Crowley in his religion Thelema. In the Bible, it states this about the Scarlet Woman: "And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her actions. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery of Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration." Crowley believed the role of the Scarlet Woman was to help manifest the energies of the Aeon of Horus. The Aeon of Horus is essentially the spiritual new age occultists were waiting for. It was the age the Freemasons were waiting for to establish their new Masonic world. If you Google what the Scarlet Woman looks like, this is the image that pops up. A woman dressed in all red, just how Doja Cat was dressed for the Paint the Town Red album, and just like Alicia Keys is dressed for the halftime show. So if we're paying attention so far, Usher is leading a rebirth ritual, and Alicia Keys represents the Scarlet Woman, which is a symbol of the age of Horus in the New Age. The performance is about the rebirth the world is about to go through. The next part of the performance we must talk about is when they show Usher on a clock. A clock in the occult represents mortality, life, and death. During the performance, they show the clock ticking, which is a symbol of the end. This clock symbolizes an awaiting death. Right after they show Usher on the clock, they show him on the celestial sun, another symbol of rebirth and immortality. If you remember, like I just said, the phoenix also represents the sun, because occultists believe that every night the sun dies and is reborn when it rises in the morning. While the imagery went over most people's head, it was understood in the world of the occult. They are using the biggest performance in the world to send out the message that the New World Order is here. Usher is literally ushering in the New World Order. The two definitions of the word usher is a show or a guide, and also either the cause or the mark of the start of something new. Do you really think it's a coincidence they used an artist named Usher to usher in the New World Order? It's right in our faces the entire time. Something else I saw a lot of people pointing out was what Ice Spice was seen doing when she was shown on the halftime Jumbotron. At a certain point during the night, they panned the camera to Ice Spice, who was sitting next to Taylor Swift. When the camera got on Ice Spice, she was seen throwing up the Masonic devil horn hand gesture to the camera. She then held up her inverted cross pendant, modeled after Satanist Playboy Cardi's chain. Many people saw this and instantly were caught off guard. But if you've been watching my channel last year, you would have known that I have already predicted Ice Spice would be doing this. I said in this video that Ice Spice was an industry plant who was chosen, and that soon, she will be showing Masonic imagery. Later in the same year, I covered her showing the one-eye symbolism at the Met Gala, and I also covered her when she did the song with Taylor, which is when she was officially presented by the Freemasons as their chosen one. Ice Spice was shown in the music video with Taylor Swift holding Saturn in the moon. Now she can be spotted with Taylor at all the big Masonic celebrations. Ice Spice was chosen, and it's obvious. Kanye was also spotted at the Super Bowl wearing a mask mocking Jesus. He even had a commercial at the Super Bowl, but I didn't want to cover the Super Bowl commercials in this video. I think I should break down all the Super Bowl commercials in a separate video. If that's something you want to see, comment Super Bowl below. The next important thing to me that had to do with the Super Bowl was what Joe Biden posted on Instagram afterwards. Right after the game ended, Joe Biden posted this photo with the caption just like we drew it up. In the photo, Joe Biden can be seen with demonic glowing eyes. While everyone saw this as Joe confirming that the Super Bowl was rigged, which it definitely was, this is not what he was referring to. He is referring to the Masonic plans for the New World Order. The plans the Masons drew out long ago. The plans that seem to be unfolding right in front of us. The plans that Joe Biden openly confirmed in 2022. What's interesting, about 2 years ago now, I made this video on Joe Biden admitting we are entering the New World Order.
An inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. Now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there. And we've got to lead it. And we've got to unite the rest. Now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there. And we've got to lead it. And we've got to unite the rest.
As you heard for yourself, Joe Biden admits that things were shifting and that we're going to be in a new world order. This is something our world leaders have been telling us is coming for a long time, and it looks like it's finally here.
This is an historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
The Super Bowl halftime show has been showing us this occult imagery every single year, and sadly, people just don't realize it. Last year in 2023, Rihanna performed at the halftime show. It was yet again another occult ritual. Rihanna was again dressed in all red to symbolize the Scarlet Woman, and with her being pregnant was a symbol of the birth of the new world. Interestingly enough, Doja Cat, who dressed like the Scarlet Woman for her Paint the Town Red video, was seen cutting an umbilical cord, which symbolizes the Scarlet Woman giving birth to the new order, or the Age of Horus. During the halftime performance, they were showing Rihanna as a literal deity, and then she ended it with the exact hand gesture the Scarlet Woman does during the Thelema rituals. Rihanna threw up the Masonic all-seeing eye, or the divine feminine symbol, which is the pyramid symbol we see so many of these celebrities showing. In 2021, The Weeknd performed at the halftime show, and again, it was loaded with occult symbolism. Not surprising at all, we saw The Weeknd dressed in a red jacket with bandages on his face. This was to represent the healing process after the end in 2020. They are showing us through the imagery of these performances that we're going through a transition. In 2020, we again saw the same color pattern, red and white. In 2019, the Super Bowl halftime performance was an important one. We saw Adam Levine performing on top of a stage that was shaped like the Masonic square and compasses. More importantly, the performance showed us that in 2019, a massive change was coming. While Adam Levine was performing his song, we saw Travis Scott coming from space as a burning comet landing on the stage. This very scene was supposed to represent a massive change coming in 2020, and they showed us through the imagery. In the performance, we can see Travis standing on a burning beast. They were letting us know what was going to happen in 2020. Travis Scott came crashing down like the fallen angel Lucifer. It's no coincidence that in 2021, he would perform the biggest ritual sacrifice ever seen before in the music industry. In 2017, we saw Lady Gaga again with the same imagery, showing herself with the white and red. She even started the performance coming down from space, with Lady Gaga falling down from the stars. In the 2015 Super Bowl performance, we saw Katy Perry start her performance riding a giant beast with glowing red eyes. Then she is shown dancing on a checkerboard pattern floor. We know the checkerboard floor points to the Masonic Lodge, as the checkerboard floor can be found in every Masonic Lodge. The 2012 Super Bowl performance featuring Madonna was one of the most revealing, and it was an important moment for the occult. In 2012, the last age, or the Aeon, like Crowley called it, officially ended. The Age of Horus started in 2012, and this halftime performance embodies it in every way. The 2012 performance showed Madonna dressed as Horus to represent the start of the Age of Horus. You can see Madonna covered in gold and wearing a gold horn headpiece. At one point, she was even pictured doing the occult as above so below pose. In this performance, they showed us what was coming and that we had arrived at their spiritual new world, the Age of Horus. Whether you want to believe it or not, football is connected to the occult. Walter Camp, the father of football, was an occultist who performed occult rituals while he was a member of the Skull and Bones. The Super Bowl is the biggest stage, and it's being used to hold the biggest Masonic rituals every year. People need to wake up, and hopefully when they find the truth, they can find their ways back to Christ. He is the only one who can save you from what is happening in front of us. The halftime show has been letting us know the New World Order is coming. Now, they let us know it has arrived. It's time you pick the right side and get right with God before it's too late. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.